Pedro Muniz, Pedromuniz. Today, as of today, 3 suspects were arrested. James H. Hill, Nasif A. Muhammad, and a Brandy J. Quadrado were arrested in connection to the Market 32 larceny that occurred early last month, by the Oxford Resident Trooper's Office. They worked diligently, very hard, really just good old police work to identify these suspects and take them into custody. We want to thank the public, as they were a great asset in providing tips and information to ascertain these suspects.
Thank you. Sergeant John Akampora, John Acampora. I'm the sergeant in charge of the Oxford Resident Trooper's Office. As Trooper Muniz said, yes, we made 3 arrests related to the November 9th larceny at Market 32. This case was solved by, in fact, good old-fashioned police work, intelligence and information sharing amongst our brother law enforcement agencies. We cannot thank the public enough for their invaluable support that came in through tips through our office and through tips here at Troop A. Without them, including the video that has now gone viral, this case would not have been solved. But collectively, with our information intelligence sharing and with the tips provided by them, we were able to finally make arrests in this case. This investigation was very fast-moving. To solve a case like this in a matter of about a month is astounding. It was fantastic police work by the members of my office, including Sergeant Cipriano, who's standing behind me. Collectively, we worked tirelessly night and day on this case, and we are happy and proud to announce these arrests. 3 arrests that were made. We do know there is a 4th person involved that we're still working on identifying and developing the probable cause that should hopefully result in their arrest shortly. This investigation is still very much ongoing, so while arrests have been made and it seems like it might be the culmination of a case, it's just one part of the culmination. This investigation is still very much ongoing.
Any questions?
Do they have any pending charges for the other possible link incidents that might have allegedly been indicted?
I'm sorry?
Were there any other charges out of other towns for any other link crimes?
I know they have multiple open cases with other towns. However, I cannot speak for those other towns as far as what they have or what they will be charging them with.
I was looking at the records and it says Quadrado was arrested November 16th. Were some people already arrested and then you guys kind of identified them afterwards and then they had already had records? Talk to us about just the dates.
Right. So we had our sights set on our suspects that we have arrested for probably about a week after the initial incident occurred. Other towns obviously had open investigations. As far as them being arrested and what you're speaking of, with Quadrado being arrested on the 16th, her and Nasif Muhammad were arrested on unrelated charges to our investigation. So yes, while they were in custody when we served our warrants, our investigation was independent of those charges.
So it was a way to get them in custody.
We would have pursued them regardless. However, they were already in custody, so they were presented before Derby Superior Court. Quadrado was presented today. Nasif Muhammad was presented yesterday, and we made our arrest at court.
And I know Hill is out on bond, and the 2 others are. I mean, I was looking up Hill's records, and he has long of the larceny charges. I mean, is he a threat to the public? And talk to us about when people encounter these situations, what should they do, just for tip-wise?
So to answer both parts of your question, this group collectively really posed no threat to the safety of the general public in the sense that they were never engaging with people. They were just committing their spree and kind of going about their business. I know there was one incident where force was used. There was not, obviously, in the Market 32 incident. Yes, Hill does have an extensive criminal record. Most of it is of similar charges to the one that we've charged him with. However, most are non-violent. They're mostly property crimes. I think I hit all parts here. Any other?
I mean, if people encounter, especially how everybody's shopping now, if they encounter something like this, what should they do? I know you said the videos are helpful, but then should people start taking videos? Like, what's kind of that limit in the balance?
Right. So we saw in our case where no one in fact called 911. The video has been an astounding help in solving this crime. We encourage the public to, again, not engage with them. Someone call 911 and just ascertain as much information as possible. So description of the people involved, description of the vehicles, which direction they fled in, if there's any weapons they saw or anything along those lines. The more information for us, the better. As you're out shopping, I've said it from the beginning since this started, see something, say something. If something is suspicious and makes you, those little hairs in the back of your neck stand up, or just you say that just doesn't seem right, call us, let us do our jobs. If it's not right to you, it's probably not right to us as well.
Seems like people are more interested in getting likes and shares and posting videos than they are making calls to you when a crime is happening.
It is my belief in reviewing this case that most of that was a result of everyone probably believing someone else called 911, when in fact no one did. So we just wish someone called 911 that day. However, this is just goes to show that while no one did, again, going back to good old-fashioned police work, we still solved the case. There was no injury to anyone, and they'll face charges for what they've done.
So since that incident at Market 32, two of them were arrested for something else, and then you picked them up at court.
Correct. Their situations are all different. Each one was arrested by other police departments in that time frame. It was just a matter of if they bonded out or not. So because because Nassif Muhammad and Brandy Quadrado did not bond out, they were still incarcerated, and then they were brought to Derby Court to face our charges.
Were they similar, those arrests on the unrelated cases, were they also shoplifting related?
I can't speak for the other police departments as far as what they've charged them with.
Were you able to track down the detergent?
So we have leads about where the detergent is. Based on the time frame, the detergent is probably gone at this point, but that's not needed to prosecute our case. We would like to make restitution or provide that stuff back to the store, but they can seek restitution with the court as the court case proceeds.
What was the value of what was taken? Has that been determined at this point?
It was just over $1,600.
And can you look at the evidence that led to them being identified as suspects?
It was predominantly tips from the public, that video that's gone viral, people seeing and knowing who they were, and then information intelligence sharing amongst other police departments. This case is a prime example of what could be done collectively amongst cooperating law enforcement agencies, and is quite frankly one of the most positive uses of information sharing that I've seen in any investigation in my career.
Was that SUV ever recovered, and was it confirmed stolen?
The SUV has not been recovered. We do not believe it is stolen at this point.
And there was a minivan, right?
Correct.
And that was also stolen, or?
The minivan is not stolen. We have seized that van as evidence.
And do you believe there's a storage facility where they keep these things that they swipe, or?
At this time, we have credible information about where some of that stuff may be. However, we're not going to be releasing that information.
Come on.
No.
What was the value again?
It was just over $1,600.
1,600. Okay.
What kind of message does this say to people who are thinking about committing these kinds of crimes, as well as the community as a whole?
So for anyone that is thinking about committing crimes like this, it just goes to show that while you think you may get away with it, and while you get away with it in the act, in the heat of the moment, law enforcement has far-reaching capabilities, and we will bring you to justice to face charges.
Are you seeing an increase in these types of, brazen daylight thefts, especially around the holiday season, or as the pandemic sort of worn on?
It appears that they're gaining more notoriety. And as I've said before, there's no retail outlet that's immune to any type of theft or shoplifting like this. It's just becoming more of notoriety at this point. This case has certainly brought it to the forefront, and I think everything else that comes after that is just continues to bring it to the forefront.
And there are laws in other jurisdictions around the country against actually going after someone who is stealing items up to a certain amount. Do we have any kind of laws like that here in Connecticut?
No, there are no laws like that in Connecticut. We will pursue charges against people regardless. There's nothing that would preclude us from going after them.
Random. Are they a relationship between the three? Are they What were they for? Are they friends? What actual relationships?
I can't comment on their relationship, but they are what we believe a ring of people that have been committing these thefts.
Who is the leader?
I can't comment on that right now.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything?
Pedro, thanks for all your input.
Absolutely.
How did I do?
Did you have any